Alrighty, man, we are back. Woo! Look, I haven't done reaction videos in a while, bro. I'm busy, man. I'm a busy dude. I'm busy. I'm busy. Welcome back to another YouTube, man. Welcome back to another YouTube channel. So today we're gonna be reacting to. Today we're gonna be. Dang, so shit, bro. This is a video by Ramar football. If I mispronounce that name, forgive me. English is not my first language, so we're reacting to exactly how good was Ronaldo Nazario. So this is a video by Ramar football, however you say it. I mean, look, man, I don't know how good this guy was. I've just seen some of his clips. I liked them. I think he was a beast. I'm sure you think he was a beast, but exactly how good was he? I guess Ramar. Well, I guess this dude is gonna, let us know. But let's get started with the video. Let me bring you up real quick. Where you at, man? Where you at, man? There you go.
Legends I've ever made videos about. There's.
Hold on. What are you talking about? Let's start this. Are y'all ready? Are you guys? Sorry.
Of all the legends I've ever made videos about, there has always been one that, even when compared to others, stands on a league of his own. A player that had it all, and who many consider to be the most complete footballer of all time.
That legendary cut. I don't know what this guy. I don't know if he made like a bet. I don't know if he, had some kind of bet with his teammate that he's gonna do this haircut, or he just got up and did it, man. But
completely unstoppable, able to dance with the ball on his feet, and almost impossible to defend. No matter the stage, he proved time and time again that he was special. A player who, regardless of rules or era, would unquestionably dominate. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ramar, and today, after so many of you have been asking, we are, of course, finally gonna take a look at how good was Ronaldo the Phenomeno. Ronaldo was...
Hey, make sure y'all subscribe. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys probably already know him, but if you don't, make sure you go subscribe. Let's continue.
Born to be the perfect footballer. From the very beginning, as early as he can remember, he would be groomed by the streets of Rio de Janeiro his entire childhood. Ronaldo was so passionate about football that his mother, Sonia, would recall his childhood days saying, "I always found him on the streets, playing with his friends when he should have been in school." When he was 11 years old, Ronaldo's parents would go through a divorce, which would lead Ronaldo to drop out of school completely. As you can imagine, for an 11-year-old, it's pretty tough to go through that. Football would be Ronaldo's go-to, his escape, and his saving grace no matter the circumstance. This dedication and passion for the game made him blessed by the football gods.
Vinicius played with Nazario? That's crazy. I did not know Wow, that's insane, man. That is insane. So Vinicius played with R9? Wow, bro. That's crazy.
The football loved him just as much as he loved the game. At the age of 12, Ronaldo would join a local indoor futsal team called Social Ramos and go on to score 166 goals on his in a single. Imagine how the players on the other team must have felt watching that. To be honest, I probably would have left after that 10th goal. Ronaldo would say that because he grew up playing on the streets, futsal was his first love when it came to the game. It's where he said he learned to be able to control the ball and move in the tightest of spaces, along with learning to have an incredibly soft touch, after playing in narrow alleyways with uneven paving his entire childhood, forcing him to master his control of the ball. The young Ronaldo would eventually be spotted by Brazilian legend Jairzinho, who, if you didn't know, led his country in scoring in the 1970 World Cup, even though he had Pelé as a teammate, which can only attest to his ability. When Jairzinho saw the young Ronaldo, he saw a player with incredible potential, a kid who just seemed different from all the others. So naturally, he knew that he had to have the young Ronaldo on his team. Jairzinho would quickly recognize the pure talent and skill that the young child prodigy Ronaldo had, and recommended that the 16-year-old should join his former club, Cruzeiro. However, Ronaldo had always wanted to play for Flamengo, a Brazilian team he supported ever since he was a child, and also a club where Brazilian legends like Zizinho once played. However, Flamengo never decided to wait and give Ronaldo a chance. Jairzinho would push Ronaldo to play for Cruzeiro anyways, and speak to the club with a personal recommendation to eventually get him signed. This would finally take us to Ronaldo's senior career. At the incredibly young age of only 16, Ronaldo would make his professional debut for Cruzeiro. I mean, when I was 16, I was still playing Pokemon on my Nintendo DS. Could you just imagine being that young and playing against fully grown men? It would take Ronaldo only a few months to gain national attention.
Actually, yes. I could imagine being that probably even younger and playing against grown men. Maybe, not on like a big field, but street ball, man. Yes. I can definitely imagine being that young, 13, 14, and playing against grown men who want to kill you, I can definitely imagine. I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely imagine. It was tough. It was rough. And because of that, you had to learn because you put yourself in that situation where, you're playing against these grown men who want to kill you. You have to learn to survive. And that's how some of us started. So yeah, I can imagine.
When he would score 5 goals in a single game, shocking even established footballers from his own country. Former Brazilian captain and legend Cafu recalls seeing Ronaldo play for the first time, saying he was still a kid. It was in a game where he ended up scoring.
The first time I saw him play was at Cruzeiro. He was still a kid. He was in a game where he ended up scoring 5 goals. From that point on, he showed he was truly a phenomenal Brazilian defender.
5 goals. From that point on, he showed that he was truly a phenomenon. By this point, Flamengo realized just how big of a mistake they made by not giving Ronaldo a chance. Because in his 2 seasons for Cruzeiro, Ronaldo would score an amazing 44 goals in 47 games, an incredible goal-scoring ratio of 0.94 goals a game at the age of 16, helping his club, which was by no means a real contender, win the Brazilian Cup. Ronaldo, as a 17-year-old, was asked to join the Brazilian national team for their 1994 World Cup run. Brazil would go on to win that World Cup, in which Ronaldo did not play at all, or for that matter, wasn't really even needed. But the experience of his seniors and multiple legends on that team would help mentor him as much as they could, along with giving Ronaldo a taste at world victory.
Hold on. Why would you invite my man and then not even have him play? Why would you invite him to the team and not have him play a single match and say he's not even needed? Hold on, bro.
Win that World Cup, in which Ronaldo did not play at all, or for that matter.
Nah, man. Me and my coach gonna have to square up, bro. Why would you invite me to a national team and then not have me play at all? Like, man, what? Man, you stupid, bro. Stupid.
Wasn't really even needed, but the experience of his seniors and multiple legends on that team would help mentor him as much as they could, along with giving Ronaldo a taste at world victory. After the 1994 World Cup, Ronaldo would move to the Netherlands to play for PSV Eindhoven, after former Brazilian teammate and legend Romario, who won the 1994 World Player of the Year and 1994 World Cup Golden Boot and Golden Ball, would recommend Ronaldo to play for the club, as he himself had played for them. Ronaldo would continue his absolutely phenomenal play by scoring 35 goals in 36 appearances in his first season in the Eredivisie, an insane 0.97 goals per game ratio. In fact, after scoring a hat-trick in the UEFA Cup against Bayern Leverkusen, German World Cup winner Rudi Völler said, "Never in my life have I seen an 18-year-old play this way. Ronaldo was so skilled at dribbling the ball, it was like it was glued to his feet," with some even saying that it seemed like he was even faster dribbling the ball than running without it. His second season at PSV would see him suffer the first injury of his career, causing him to play nearly 50% less matches than last season. But nevertheless, before he went down, managed to score 19 goals in 21 games, still nearly a goal per game ratio, all at the age of 19. Before he would even turn 21, he broke the world record transfer fee of 19.5 million euros, which back in 1996 was an absolutely insane amount of money. When Barcelona decided to go all out and grab him, he would be worth every single cent and more, as during his first season, Ronaldo scored an insane 47 goals in 49 appearances, winning him the La Liga Top Scorer Award and the European Golden Boot. He would also help Barcelona win the UEFA Cup by scoring in the final itself, along with winning the Spanish Super Cup and Copa del Rey, all at 20 years old. Ronaldo was at his physical prime at Barcelona, being insanely fast and strong, along with having the perfect size for a forward to be able to body defenders trying to get rough. And often, many of his goals would include him running around the goalkeeper like he was playing with kids. An Atletico Madrid player, Quentin Fortune, would say, "As a kid, I wanted to be Pele. I bought all the books, all the videos, and I studied what I could to be like the best. I set off on that path. Then I met Ronaldo. Some players were technical, some were quick, some were strong, some were smart. Ronaldo was all of those, which was absolutely true. Players would even try to foul him, but his quick movement, size, and strength combined with his incredible dribbling brushed defenders off like nothing. Jose Mourinho, back when he worked for FC Barcelona when Ronaldo was playing there, would say, "I have no doubt Ronaldo is the greatest player I have ever seen in my life." And he would later confirm the same thing in an interview back in 2014. Ronaldo's first and only season with Barcelona saw him as the youngest player to ever win the FIFA World Player of the Year award. However, he would only place second in Ballon d'Or voting, losing to Matthias Samar of Borussia Dortmund by a single vote. That's right, by a single vote. By the end of his career, Ronaldo would have had 3 Ballon d'Ors if he had won that one, which he clearly deserved in my opinion. The very next season, in 1997, Ronaldo would once again break the world record transfer fee in back-to-back years, being the only player to ever do so. That's just how valuable he was. Inter Milan decided to go all out themselves and pay a 27 million euro fee to get him. While his goal-scoring numbers weren't as high, they were definitely great, as he was transitioning into the Serie A, which back then was considered the most heavily defensive league. Despite that, he still managed to score 34 goals in 47 matches, which is still an amazing .72 goals per game ratio. Ronaldo also learned to become a more complete forward, racking up assists and taking and scoring free kicks. In his first season with Inter Milan, he would be rightfully handed the FIFA World Player of the Year award again, as well as finally winning the Ballon d'Or, making him the youngest player to ever win the award at 20 years old, which, and I can't stress enough, should have been his second Ballon d'Or, as he definitely deserved one in 1996 as well. In 1998, Ronaldo was already considered the undisputed greatest striker in the world. At just 22 years old, he was already appointed as the captain of his Inter Milan squad, and although we would start to see him suffering a few injuries at this time and missing some games, he would still score 15 goals in 28 appearances, winning the Serie A Player of the Year award. He was phenomenal in the 1998 World Cup as well, scoring 4 goals and getting 3 assists, winning him the Player of the Tournament award. Unfortunately, Ronaldo and Brazil would infamously break down in the final and lost to France. But regardless of that, nobody questioned Ronaldo's skills for even a moment. However, in 1999, Ronaldo, who seemed absolutely unstoppable, infamously began to suffer a string of severe injuries. Ronaldo would limp off the pitch during a Lazio match, only to discover that he suffered a ruptured tendon on his knee and required major surgery. He would be gone for half a year until he would play the first leg of a Coppa Italia match. As history would have it, it was way too early for Inter Milan to let him play, as after only 6 minutes, he collapsed on the floor and the world would learn that he suffered a complete rupture of his kneecap tendons. It was so...
I feel your pain, bro. Knee injuries are not funny, bro. The worst injury I've had lasted me like 2 weeks. Me personally, I wouldn't do surgery because I don't like cutting my knee and I don't like cutting my body open. I just wouldn't do surgery. But yo, knee injuries are not it, man. They're not it. I've had the worst injury I've had, bro. Actually, it lasted me I think 3 weeks. Was an ankle injury, but the longest I had knee injury, I twisted both knees like right on the spot, bro. Trying to do this weird, skill and man, it was bad. I couldn't. I had to use both hands to move around the house and go to the bathroom and go back to my room. I had to use both hands and lean on the wall and support left, support, bro. You're not it, bro. I feel your pain, bro. I feel bro's pain.
Impactful that opposing players like Diego Simeone even went up to him to help the young star. Like I said, Ronaldo was never a player that people hated, so even for opposing players, it was just sad to see. Ronaldo would miss the entirety of the 2000-2001 season and about 80% of the 2001-2002 season.
But this is what I don't understand about surgery, though. If you have something, let's say you tear a muscle, and you go to a doctor or hospital and they cut up your flesh and they stitch that muscle back together. I mean, personally for me, I think that's worse, because if you pull that muscle again, those threads or whatever they have in there is still probably gonna tear the muscle even more, because they have multiple threads going through the flesh and the other one, so it's probably gonna man. So instead of having maybe like one cut, you're probably gonna have multiple mini cuts and multiple little bro. I don't try to think about all that stuff, so that's why I don't do surgery, man. I've had all kinds of like bad injuries, but they only last me a couple I'll say days, and some last me maybe a week or 2 weeks or so, but surgery is not for me.
Many people thought that after all the surgeries and irreplaceable damage to his knees, Ronaldo would never be the same, that he would lose his touch, skill, and eye for goal. However, the 2002 World Cup would shock the entire world and forever establish his name as the phenomenon. Prior to the World Cup, Brazil was doing horrendous, and to many, were lucky to even qualify for the tournament. But with Ronaldo playing, it was a different story. He would lead his country to the 2002 World Cup trophy, scoring in every match except in the quarterfinal against England, ultimately ending with 8 goals and winning the tournament's Golden Boot. His comeback was talked about all over the world and would earn him the 2002 FIFA World Player of the Year award and the 2002 Ballon d'Or, which nobody questioned at all. And I just have to remind you guys again, should have been his 3rd Ballon d'Or. When Ronaldo signed with Real Madrid after the World Cup, his jersey sales would break all records on the very first day. Ronaldo would score in the final season match for Real Madrid, winning them the La Liga title, as well as scoring in the Intercontinental Cup and Spanish Super Cup finals. Ronaldo would also famously score a hat-trick against Manchester United in the Champions League quarterfinal, which caused the entirety of Old Trafford to stand and give him a loud applause as he exited the game on the 80th minute. In the Champions League semi-final, he scored a goal and helped Real Madrid win 2-1 over Juventus on the first leg, but received an injury and wouldn't play during their second meeting, much to the demise of Real Madrid, as without him, they were eliminated from the competition. He would end his first season in Madrid scoring 30 goals and having 8 assists in 44 appearances, a .68 goals per game ratio. The next season, Ronaldo was visibly different. He seemed like he gained a lot of weight compared to his physical peak prior to the injuries that destroyed his knees. However, not too many people took too much attention to it at the time, as he was still doing what he did best, scoring beautiful goals. Real Madrid were actually on track to win a treble in Ronaldo's second season, but injuries again prevented him from reaching further accomplishments. He would miss the Copa del Rey final, which they would lose, and also get eliminated in the Champions League quarterfinal without him. This was also the season he scored that iconic 15-second goal. Ronaldo would still manage 31 goals and 13 assists in 48 matches, a .65 goals per game ratio, which was still impressive considering all the stars Madrid had during their Galacticos era that individually could all find their own ways of getting the ball in the back of the net. Within the next few seasons at Real Madrid, Ronaldo's performances would gradually decrease over the years, scoring less and less while also noticeably losing pace and gaining a lot of weight. In fact, during his 2 final seasons of Real Madrid, he would only play a total of 40 matches, which is less than he played on his 3rd season alone. Although even with this, it by no means meant that he performed poorly for Madrid at all, maintaining above a .50 goals per game ratio up until his final season, where he managed to make only 15 appearances. Unfortunately, Madrid fans could see the end of the road for Ronaldo at the Bernabeu. His final years at Real Madrid were plagued with injuries, fitness issues, and substantial weight gain. Although he still had the skill, unfortunately, Ronaldo's body simply couldn't keep up with it. And with this, Ronaldo would depart Real Madrid in 2007 and head back to Italy to play for AC Milan. Despite the clear lack of fitness, Ronaldo still managed to score 7 goals in 14 matches, a testament to his pure skill alone. It's when he was in AC Milan that, on top of all the injuries he received during his career, he was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. And for anyone who doesn't know, it slows down a person's metabolism extremely, making
Hyperthyroidism, overactive thyroid occurs when your thyroid gland produces too much of the hormone can accelerate your body's causing unintentional weight. Hold on. Did he not say that it slows down? Hold on, bro. Hold on.
to score 7 goals in 14 matches, a testament to his pure skill alone. It's when he was in AC Milan that, on top of all the injuries he received during his career, he was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. And for anyone who doesn't know, it slows down a person's metabolism extremely, making it very easy to gain weight in a short amount of time and much more difficult for you to lose it.
I thought I was tripping. That's not what he says though. Hypothyroidism means you.
And for anyone who doesn't know, it slows down a person's.
Yeah, he said it slows down, but hyper, meaning it produces too much and it can accelerate your body's metabolism, causing unintentional weight loss, bro, not weight gain. But I understand I don't understand what he's saying, to be honest. I'm kind of confused here. I think he might have missed the word for this, but well, let's continue. That's not a big deal anyway. So, come on, Ramar, man.
Metabolism extremely, making it very easy to gain weight in a short amount of time and much more difficult for you to lose it. This condition was diagnosed in 2007, but, as many expect, could have been present with Ronaldo ever since 2003. After his World Cup winning year, Ronaldo's second season for AC Milan saw him playing less than 300 minutes, which for anyone who witnessed him in his prime was truly a saddening sight, as during a match he would once again suffer a horrifying knee injury that required him to get wheeled off directly to the hospital, where he wouldn't play football for several months once again. Ronaldo would finally go back to Brazil to play the last few years of his career. In 2009, if you were to look at Ronaldo and didn't know any better, you would think that he was already retired, as his weight gain was even more severe. Nonetheless, in his 3 seasons with Brazilian side Corinthians, he managed to help them win the Brazilian Cup in 2009. Although clearly a shadow of what he was before, Ronaldo was still loved by the people to no end. Every single game he scored in sent fans absolutely wild with happiness at just seeing their idol score once more. In fact, in his first season, he scored 8 goals in 9 matches, rallying the citizens to request the Brazilian national team to call him up just one more time, for old time's sake. That's just how much the people of Brazil respected and loved him. They knew he wasn't there to score and dominate like he used to, but to just see him touch the ball and even score made the fans go absolutely wild. Watching him score some of the last goals in his career, you can't help but just smile, as you can feel just how special of a moment it is for not only himself, but his fans and peers as well. Ronaldo announced his retirement in 2011, saying that his hyperthyroidism had gotten the best of him, and the many severely crippling injuries he received throughout his career were just too much for his body to handle. To this day, Ronaldo remains one of the most iconic players ever, and to some, he was even the greatest. For me, I believe he was the most perfect and complete forward that has ever played. His ability to score, dribble, and finish on top of his strength and speed in his prime, at least to me, is on a class of its own. He wasn't lucky enough to win the Champions League because of crucial injuries and unfortunate times, but that doesn't take anything away from his career. Ronaldo would certainly be my main choice as the starting forward for my all-time 11, and I have no doubt in my mind that he certainly belongs there. If anything, Ronaldo's story only makes me appreciate players I loved watching even more. We never know when something might happen to them or when they'll finally hang their boots for the last time. That's why I made it my mission to watch my favorite players for as long as I can. And you can do it too with ESPN+. ESPN Plus lets you watch your favorite football matches live in HD and in any device you could possibly think of. From Serie A to Bundesliga, FA Cup, MLS, or international friendlies, ESPN Plus has you covered. You can also replay and watch whatever you want, whenever you want. And watch programs like ESPN FC for all things football, or keep up to date with the latest scores, news, or tables from every top league around the world. ESPN Plus is my go-to to watch my favorite player, Cristiano Ronaldo, in action. You can also watch hundreds of original content and programs from a bunch of different sports as well, all for the price of $5.99 a month. An incredible steal. So check out the first link in the description and sign up for ESPN Plus today. But that's all from me today, guys. This video was made possible by Alaric Aguilar, Owen Torres, Carlos C, Malcolm, and the rest of my patrons. If you guys want to support the channel, check my Patreon link in the description below. Any support is greatly appreciated. Anyways, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe and turn those notifications on if you haven't already to see the best football documentaries on YouTube. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I was enjoying the video until that hyperthyroid part, bro. I think, man, missing that word actually got me off, man. Nah, I just played. But hey, solid video though. Look, man, look. Injuries are not it, bro. I'll tell you this. If you don't play, well, if you play, especially if you're like a high-end player that everyone wants to kill you, bro, you can probably testify to this. If you're looking to start playing, bro, injuries are not it. Like, I would tell you this, bro. Eat healthy, train, keep your body moving. Don't just get up and, slack the whole day and go to a game and come back and slack the whole night and slack the whole day and, go. No, that's not going to help. Train, bro. Train your body. Eat healthy, bro. Get some sleep, get some rest. Bro, injuries are not it, man. But solid video, though. I did like the video. Man, that was some crazy stuff, But bro, who is? Hey, yeah. Shout out to Ramar for this video, man. This was really enjoyable. Sadly for R9, he got fat and slow and injuries and a whole bunch of stuff. I personally didn't grow up watching him play, but I've seen a lot of his clips, and that dude is bro's just nice. Like he's just nice, bro. He's up there with my favorite Brazilians. I have for Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Robinho, and Neymar. Those four, those are my favorite Brazilians of all time. You just can't beat that list, bro. Like he's just like I would choose Ronaldinho over him because I grew up watching Ronaldinho play. I didn't really watch much of Ronaldo, but from his highlights, bro, his clips, he's up there, bro. But anyway, well, thank you guys for watching. Well, thank you guys for for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I know I haven't. Yo, who is it, bro? Hey, sorry guys. Someone's blowing on my phone for some reason. I know I haven't been doing reaction videos. I've been busy, but I'm gonna be getting like at least 2 reaction videos every week. Just 2 football reaction videos and just something to laugh about. On Saturday. Saturday is gonna be like the days. You just watch some funny fails, skills, goals, and just have a good laugh, man. It's the end of the week. Relax and sit back and just laugh, man. Well, I'll see you on the next video, man, and peace out.